losing weight is eating the right food. So let me show you exactly. Let me show you exactly what you need to be eating. If and not, it's easier to start with what you shouldn't be eating, right? You need to stop eating these foods right here if you want to lose weight. All grain, okay? Wheat, barley, rye, oats. You can also put rice on that list. I was kind of on the fence about rice, but upon further research, I am ready to put rice on that list. Of all variants, whole wheat or white. Stop eating these things if you're trying to lose weight. Anything with corn, anything with soy. The reason why you want to stop eating grain is because most of it is GMO. It's sprayed with heavy metals in the form of pesticides. Your stomach cannot digest it. Human beings didn't start eating grain until, I believe, it's only within the past few thousand years that eating grain has been commonplace for human beings. We're not designed to eat grain. It's filled with gluten, in particular wheat, barley, rye, and oats, which is a lectin. A lectin is a protein that acts as a defense mechanism in plants. This defense mechanism triggers an inflammation reaction in your gut. When your gut becomes inflamed, it is no longer able to absorb nutrients properly, and you're not able to digest your foods properly. And so as a result, your body gets in a whack nutritionally. And so as a result, it gets sick. One of those symptoms is gaining weight. So if you're serious about losing weight, cut out wheat, barley, rye, oats, and rice and all other forms of grain. What I have replaced it with is a substance or a food known as millet. It is very popular in African culture. This is what millet looks like. It is somewhere in between quinoa and rice in the texture, and it is just as easy to cook as rice. And in my opinion, it tastes better. So that is what you should eat for your starches if you want to replace it. Let's continue with the foods you need to stop eating. Let me close some of these tabs here. Oh, I think I accidentally closed one. Here we go. All right. Corn and soy. You need to stop eating these foods. Why? Because it is incredibly GMO. They have been bred in an unnatural way that makes it so that the farmers have to spray corn and soy, in America in particular, with Roundup, which is a special type of pesticide which has been proven to promote the growth of an array of cancers, as well as making you fat. This is how they get chicken fat. You ever wonder how they're able to get modern chickens and pigs and cows fat as fuck? By feeding them corn and soy. And when you eat it as a human, the exact same thing happens. You can, and the crazy part is these animals have a more elaborate, a more powerful digestive system than you do. And so if they can't digest it well enough to not become obese, because that is what it is, these animals, these livestock have become obese because farmers make money by selling meat by the pound, so they're incentivized to make them fat as possible, as quickly as possible. They feed them that. How are you, as a human being that doesn't have multiple stomach chambers and the inability to, regurgitate your food and chew it as cud? You ever see cows and goats just chewing all day? They're chewing their throw up so that they can better digest it. And if they're able to do all of that and still can't digest it properly, causing them to gain fat, what do you think's gonna happen to you as a human being? You gonna get fat quick as fuck. So stop eating corn and stop eating soy, on top of all of the shit that I said previously. Stop eating meats with nitrates. This is more to do, less with weight gain, but more to do with the promotion of cancer cells in your body. Oil in a bottle. Stop eating oil in a bottle. Now, there is some debate on olive oil and coconut oil. I'm not ready to tell you to stop eating olive oil and coconut oil. I need to do more research. But every other type of oil, stop eating it. Stop eating canola oil. Stop eating margarine. Stop eating fucking seed oils. All of these shits oxidize very quickly, on top of the fact that they're fat. You're literally pouring fat onto your food. Now, eating fat doesn't make you fat, But these are the worst kinds of fat to use. Also, these foods are also sprayed with a ton of pesticides. Carbonated drinks with a beverage. Why is that? Your stomach is literally a bag of acid. It is between the pH of 0 and 2. It is incredibly acidic. You could drop metal in that bitch, and if it is as acidic as it's supposed to be, it will digest it. You could eat a piece of bone, maybe not metal, but you could eat a piece of bone, like a chicken bone. Your stomach acid should be so acidic that you could eat a whole chicken bone and see no evidence of it when you take a shit. That's how acidic your stomach is supposed to be. It is filled with hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid, HCl. Carbonated drinks are carbonated using carbon dioxide. When the carbon dioxide gets in your stomach, it neutralizes the stomach acid, raising the pH, making it more alkaline. When your stomach acid is more alkaline, it is unable to digest foods properly. In particular, protein. So, what happens to undigested protein? Your body turns it to fat through a process known as, I think it's neoglucogenesis, I believe is the term of it, where it turns protein into fat. So, by drinking soda, champagne, carbonated beverages, sparkling water, anything with bubbles with a meal, you are promoting weight gain. And you're also promoting your body's inability to digest minerals and protein properly. Well done meat, because the crust of well done meat has compounds that have been proven to be carcinogenic. They promote cancer. Fried foods, on top of the fact that most fried foods are fried in various forms of vegetable oils, which I just told you to stop eating. And if you're asking me, Don, well, what do I saute my food in? Butter, lard, coconut oil. Again, I'm on the fence with coconut oil, but as far as I can tell, I think it's safe. Do your own research to know more. But cook your food in coconut oil, butter, or lard, preferably lard or coconut oil. Or lard or butter. My apologies. Stop cooking your food in canola oil and all these other oils. Olive oil, again, I'm not sure about it. I think extra virgin olive oil is good to consume, but do not cook with it. It has a low smoke point. And when you heat olive oil, it oxidizes very quickly. Those oxidated molecules go in your system and cause oxidative stress in your body, which causes inflammation and promotes the growth of cancer and the inability to digest foods, which promote weight gain. And what's the last thing? Baked skins on the baked skins of potatoes. The reason why this is on the list is because, just similar to well done red meat, and it's well done red meat, is because there are properties that develop when you make the skin crispy that promote the growth of cancer. Okay. Woo! Man, I'm trying to get this off quick for you guys here. But I'm trying to I'm not just gonna fucking take shots at another nigga, point out a problem and not give you the solution. So I hope you're taking notes. All right. And then let's talk about how you need to compose your plate. Half of your plate needs to be dark leafy green vegetables. A part of the reason that people eat is because they're tired and they feel like they have low energy, so they feel they need to eat. Common reason why people have low energy is because they have a potassium and a magnesium deficiency. So where do you get potassium and magnesium from? Dark leafy green vegetables. Half of your plate, that in order to get your daily requirements, to hit your daily requirements of potassium and magnesium every day, you need to be eating 7 to 10 cups of dark leafy green vegetables every day. What does that look like? That is like a large mixing bowl of vegetables, or if you go to the grocery store, you see those plastic containers, baby spinach 5-ounce container. You know these containers that they sell in like your grocery stores where they pre-package like spinach and shit? They look like this. These are usually 5 ounces. You should be ideally eating 2 of these a day in order to hit your potassium and magnesium thresholds. A part of the reason you cannot go to sleep at night is because you have a magnesium deficiency. A part of the reason you're tired all the time is because you have a potassium deficiency. Other great sources are avocado. I eat a lot of avocado. So if you eat, 1 or 2 avocados a day, you might not need to eat 2 of these. You still need to be filling up at least half of your plate with dark leafy green vegetables. Okay. And then half a quarter of your plate should never be more than a quarter of your plate should never be protein, or protein should never make up more than a quarter of your plate. Even if you're working out and exercising, in this video I've showed you my body several times. As you can see, I'm still in great muscular shape. You do not need that much protein. In fact, there are studies to show that the average person cannot digest more than 30 grams of protein in a sitting or in a day. Or my apologies. The average person cannot take more than 30 grams of protein and use it towards muscle synthesis. What do I mean by that? When you work out, you create damage in your muscles. Protein is what is used to rebuild those muscles and they get bigger. However, your body has a max amount of protein that can be used to synthesize muscle in a given period of time. There is research to show that that number is around 30 grams. So when you eat more, so let's say you eat 2 chicken thighs or 2 chicken breasts, or you have a ton of eggs and some bacon and sausages, you feel me? You're eating much more than 30 grams of protein, not to mention all the other food on your plate probably has protein as well. What happens to that protein that your body is unable to use in the process of repairing your muscles? Your body is incapable of storing amino acids. So what happens to it? Your body converts it into sugar. That sugar is then stored as fat. So you don't need more than a quarter of your plate to be protein. Me, for breakfast, I like to have 4 eggs, and that's about it. 4 eggs, or maybe 2 eggs and a couple slices of bacon. 3 eggs, a couple slices of bacon. That's it. For dinner, I will have a small piece of fish, or maybe like half a chicken breast or a chicken thigh. That's it. That's all the meat I'll eat in a day. And I have decided that once a week, I'm vegan. Once a week, I don't eat any animal product. You don't need that much protein. Most of the protein you're eating is turning into sugar and turning into fat. I am not a nutritional scientist. I am not a nutritionist. I am just somebody who has been very curious about food and nutrition for a very long time and can back it up with results. How many people do you know can successfully and healthfully lose 20 pounds in less than a month? I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Talking about niggas looking unhealthy. Nigga, do I look unhealthy to you? All right. And so then if a quarter of your plate is protein, at least half of your plate is vegetables. And by the way, you can eat unlimited vegetables. You can eat unlimited mushrooms and unlimited leafy greens. Because even food like carrots and shit that has a lot of sugar, but it also has a lot of fiber. So it kind of evens out. But, if most of your plate is leafy greens, you're probably not going to overdo it with like carrots. You feel me? So you can eat unlimited arugula, kale, a good amount of spinach. Don't overdo it with the spinach for other reasons. I think this is where I want to end it. If you are more curious about this information, there are 2 doctors that I highly recommend, 3 doctors that I highly recommend you look up. They all have content on YouTube and they all have hundreds of videos going in depth about this. I can only say so much in this time. You want to look up